Robinhood CEO says Bitcoin and crypto will replace traditional finance, calling it inevitable. Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP holders. Appreciate you guys as always. Looking across the board today, we're seeing once again a lot of green across the board. Literally over the last 48 hours, we actually have seen double-digit gains across the crypto space. Market is feeling a lot of love. And like I said, we are 1 week away from closing the first half of the year, which is crazy to think about. And this is the best way to close out the month of June. So hopefully, we hold on to this momentum. But things are looking very bright for the second half of the year, and I think a lot of excitement is yet to come. But looking across, the board, once again, a lot of green. XRP's price up about 2.5% over the course of the last 24 hours in USD comparative, also up about 1% in Bitcoin comparative. Price at $2.19, valuation at $129 billion in the 24-hour trading volume at about $3 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, we talk about, replacing traditional finance, calling it inevitable. Look at what's happening for the digital asset space. Look at what's happening for Bitcoin. Look at what's happening, with tokenization. Look at the ETF. Look where the interest really lies. And I really do believe that, more and more people are going to start to realize, the potential of the digital asset space. Obviously, we're starting to see a lot of big corporations, starting to focus on, blockchain technology, implementing it within their infrastructure. And I really do believe, it's going to become a norm in the near future where you're going to see big organizations actually holding crypto on their balance sheets. It's already happening, and I think it's going to get to another level in terms of scale itself. But let me know down below what you guys think. Appreciate you guys as always. But look at this, the SEC Crypto Task Force met with a New York Stock Exchange to discuss crypto regulation approaches. Agenda included, tokenized equities trading, generic listing standard for spot crypto ETPs, and promoting level playing field among market participants. And on top of that, Ripple Enterprise Payments, a proposition, key offering from Ripple Payments, formerly known as RippleNet. So, key metrics. So what Smoke says is Ripple Enterprise Payments Network already covers 90% of the global FX market. The global FX market equals $7.5 trillion per day in volume, over 2.7 quadrillion per year. But look at this. Key metrics: crypto and traditional payouts 80 plus, lifetime transaction 27 million, total transaction value $50 billion, and of course global FX market coverage 90%, and payment license 30 plus. Crazy stuff, which a lot of people overlook. And this is, we talk about utility, we talk about a real world use case. This is one of the many examples that we shouldn't really be neglecting. But take a look at this. Paul Barron says XRP activity is heating up. Is this a setup for an XRP ETF? With the VanEck MVD app going live, are we seeing signs that XRP ETF is near? I personally think the XRP ETF is closer than we think, especially when you consider what's happening in Canada. Canada actually has a spot, XRP ETF already. First, spot ETF, for the native token of the XRP ledger, which is XRP. And this really just gives us a better understanding which direction we're really heading, especially when you take a look at this. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says banks are free to conduct crypto activities and also provide banking services to the crypto industry. This is bigger than you know it. In my opinion, this is such a big news. A few years back, if this was announced, I think the market would have just erupted. This is bigger than you know. You're looking at banks are free. It's not, they're not saying, he's not coming out and saying small credit unions. He's not saying like small lenders. We're talking about banks in general are free to conduct crypto activities and also provide banking services to the crypto industry. I've shared, a perfect example with you guys, over the time that, if you go into the bank before, as we are starting to see regulation in crypto being taken seriously, before, if you were to walk in, they'd, you talk about crypto, they're just going to start panicking, all right? And now, it's getting that green light, And believe it or not, these banks are probably, stoked because they want to take that piece of the pie. This is revolutionary, and we will see how big this really is as we do go into the future. Really, really big signal right in front of us here. But take a look at this. There is no significant drop in XRP Reserve at major exchanges. You can check hourly exchange with this rich list actually acquiring the XRP ledger. So there's obviously speculation that, we did see a huge drop in the XRP Reserve, but, Vet has really come out and said to just kind of take a look at it from this angle. So that's something I wanted to share with you guys. But a look at this, Vincent said something quite interesting. So I don't know if Brito Post was major, but I will tell you that as confirmed in the court filing, there are 1,700 NDAs with, God knows who. We know it's coming, just don't know when. If you have ever prayed for patience or wished you could be more patient, then you have been gifted with the XRP. The patience we have gained would make Tibetan monks proud. So, pretty much, we have 1,700 NDAs regardless of whatever you look at. And the 1,700 NDAs, pretty much since the core document showed that, has gotten a lot of people, talking about what these NDAs could be, which entities or, which person does not want to, disclose those. Obviously, we don't know, but I think slowly but surely we're going to start seeing that happening. So, very, very exciting stuff. But let's take a look at, what's happening with the price. As far as the dominance is concerned, dominance actually came down to 65.9%. Since then, has picked up a little bit. We're currently sitting at 65.31%. If you're looking at BTC here, let's give it a refresh live on Bitcoin chart. You can see this for yourself. Bitcoin has been able to claim back above 106,000. But once again, look where we retested and got rejected, $106,890. You cannot make this up anymore, guys. You cannot make this up anymore. Once again, a confirmation for us. We literally retested the $106,800 exactly and got rejected. Again, this should tell you this is a very important level to be watching out for. But, we're showing the great signs, the right, moves. And if we're able to turn this into support, I am projecting us to push back up to the 110,000. But if you're looking at XRP's price right now, it's consolidating really nicely. We did come up to that $2.22, pretty much ranging still over here. Target remains to be the same around the $2.30. It's pretty much simple as that. If we're able to break out of that range, I am projecting the 23.6 Fibonacci level to be retested. But let me know down below what you guys think. Where do you see the price of XRP going? I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.